Morning, everyone. Tim here. I thought I'd this morning, Sunday, the 5th of April, do a quick update before I preach, sitting here in my office by myself. It's been a while under these new arrangements, and this week it seems to me that things have settled a little bit. We've had a few days in a row under the same circumstances, and so we're going to have to start getting used to it, I think. I've decided that on Sunday mornings I'm going to try and get back into a bit of a routine. I'm going to get up, go through my notes as I normally do on Sunday morning. I'm going to iron a shirt. Then comes the dull bit. When I normally head off in the car to head up to Mount Vic, I'm just going to wander over to my office and talk to you or talk to my phone, and hopefully some of you get this later. First of all, I've got all my books in the background, not because I wanted to show you all my books, but I tried to do this video in front of the stained glass in the church, which I thought would look nice, but the lighting doesn't work. Anywhere beautiful tends to not work, but in the darkness of my office, we get a pretty good picture. A lot of churches are running their services online now and streaming. Now, we haven't taken that path as yet, and so I'm putting these videos up for you to watch at a time that's convenient, but I know many of you are logging into other online services on a Sunday morning, and I hope that those are encouraging to you. I hope that the word is getting to you that way, but there is still something important and significant about us maintaining our community as a church and as a parish. Today is the first day that St. John's miss out on having their service, so welcome to the party, St. John's. As I've been ringing around people around the parish, it seems to go without saying that people need to be ringing each other up, and everyone's doing that well. I just wanted to ask this morning if you could consider extending that idea. I think what people are doing at the moment is they're ringing people from their growth group, and they're ringing the people that they know well and checking in on each other, and that's a wonderful thing. I wonder if all of us this week could also call someone that we wouldn't normally call, someone that we wouldn't normally check in with, and see if you can have one of those conversations that you have on a good week at church, where you take a step out and you introduce yourself to someone you don't know. Have a look in the parish directory, and I'm going to get an updated one out to you very soon digitally. But try ringing someone that you don't normally talk to from your congregation. One of the advantages of this weird time is that people are connecting in new ways. And we want to make sure that we're connecting with each other and making sure no one slips through the gaps. So let's keep doing that, keep talking to each other. I also know that Bible study groups, a few of them, are experimenting with different online platforms, and I'm sure there's been various levels of success, but I have had a couple of emails from people who are keen to join a group, who under normal circumstances wouldn't have been able to get there, or it wasn't practical, but at the moment they would love to do that. If you're interested in joining a group that's going to use Zoom or one of those online platforms, send me an email, give me a phone call, and we'll do everything we can to try and help you get it set up technically. You will need a computer or a tablet or a phone or something to start with, but it's really not that hard to set up these programs. And no matter how good you think it is, it tends to be better than nothing. And so at bare minimum, you get to pray together, share some prayer points, and read a bit of Bible. Let me know if you're keen. And what times of day or the week work for you. People's schedules seem to have opened up quite a bit, which is nice. I also just wanted to update you on ways that we're serving each other. I think it would be really helpful if people had a couple of spare meals that they could pop in their freezers, ready for such a time when we might really need to be sharing with people. We've certainly got one or two people here in Blackheath who've been in need in the last couple of weeks. There's a family who's been under quarantine with a young baby, and we've tried to help them out a little bit. But who knows how great the need might be in the coming weeks and months. So if you are able to do that, and drop me an email, send me a text, let me know that you've got a meal available, and we'll get those to the people that need them at the right moment. And who knows, it might well be one of us that's in need before too long. In terms of teaching, I've decided I'm going to press on with the Matthew sermon series, but conveniently, as this crisis has hit, we're up to Matthew chapter 26, which is one of my favourite chapters in the whole Bible. And the feedback I've got on last week's sermon was that people appreciated having it. Quite a few people seem to have watched it. And people seem to think 10 minutes was a pretty good length. So I'm going to aim for around that. Though that's a dangerous thing to say before I've preached this morning. But I'm going to take much smaller passages, and we're going to work our way through Matthew chapter 26 quite slowly over the coming weeks. I'm going to preach on Good Friday and on Easter Sunday. And on Good Friday, conveniently, we'll be reaching a passage about the Lord's Supper. And I'll have some things to say about the Lord's Supper and what that might look like in the context that we're in. Obviously, we won't be doing the Lord's Supper on Good Friday in our traditional way, but rest assured, Easter is upon us, and we will remember the Lord, and we'll seek to be obedient to him as well. Other updates around our house. I think things have settled down a little bit. We're getting into a bit of a routine. Jodie's been taking shifts at the hospital. She reports that Katoomba Hospital is a reasonably quiet place at the moment. They're getting things ready. Lots of non-essential things are slowing down. And so currently, all smooth in the hospital system. We should keep praying that the great rush that is expected might be reduced, flatten the curve as it were, and pray for all those who serve us in that way. And whilst everyone's being very cautious, it does seem that the Lord is answering our prayers, and things do seem to be slowing down. So let's keep praying that way. I also wanted to mention a couple of people have dropped by the church to pick up books or Bible study notes or materials. If you would like some reading material, there is lots of stuff here at St Aidan's, and St Peter's has got a library as well. Again, reach out and we'll find a way that we can get materials to you. I've got a great big load of this John Chapman book, which I don't know if that's going to appear backwards. It might, but trust me, it's the right way around in real life. We've got heaps of copies of this, 2 boxes. It's quite a thick tome. It's a collection of John Chapman's teaching, and a bit of a biography. If you want to have a read at the moment, come and grab one of those. I can make sure the church is unlocked so you can come and grab something, or I can fetch it out for you and we can remain socially distanced. I've also got a great big box of this book, which I haven't looked at or read very much, but it's a collection of stories produced by Anglican Aid of women in the Middle East and how they've endured through great times of stress and suffering. It again is a great big book. It's a beautiful book as a gift. Take one of those, and if you want to make a donation to Anglican Aid and serve these women, that would be great. But the box is just sitting here, and it's been here for a while, so it would be better if people take them and then decide whether they want to make a donation directly. Finally, I just wanted to say a couple of things about our financial situation. As you know, the government has been offering lots of financial assistance to different organisations, and it might well be that we qualify for some of that. Over the last couple of weeks, I've asked everyone who is able if they can switch to electronic giving, and I want to say that people have been very faithful in that, and so thank you for doing that. Quite a few people have also made one-off donations to help us get through this time, which has also been a great blessing. And things are going better than I thought they might. Maybe I didn't have enough faith. But I also want to say, if you are in a position to make a one-off donation, please put that aside and hold on to it for the moment. What we're trying to do currently is work out how our income is going to be affected in this coming period. I know for many of you, your financial situation has changed, and you may not be able to give as you were giving before. For others, your situation is secure, you might be able to give even more. What we need to assess is realistically where we're at in the coming weeks. So if people could continue to give as they plan to give into the future, if you have, as I'm saying, if you have an extra gift or something else to help us get through this difficult period, hold on to that for the moment. I suspect there will come a day when we're calling out for funds again. But if our income is reduced as we suspect it might be, then there will be some of these government programs which could really help us get through this time and particularly allow us to continue ministering in this online capacity. Many of you have seen Michelle's update. She's moved out to Dubbo. I'm speaking to her regularly on the phone, and I hope many of you are too. Michelle's setting up online youth group and doing lots of different things. She's also going to produce a prayer newsletter once a week. Now, obviously, quite a bit of that might overlap and be the same, but since we're distributing digitally, we'll make sure that we keep that up to date. If you want to share prayer points with everyone, then send Michelle an email, give her a phone call, and let her know. And we'd love to have lots of things to put in there. So please don't be shy. Keep those coming in, and we'll keep each other updated. I think that might do for news and announcements this morning. I'll upload this video, but I'll also put a sermon up before too long. I hope you are all doing well. I'm praying for you. And as everyone keeps saying, we do look forward to a day when we can all be back together in the same place, doing what we took for granted in so many ways.